not literally saying that that's what happened. He was just bringing that up as he was using figurative language, I guess, to lead into, so, Dimsdale, what happens when someone has a secret buried in their heart? To start that conversation, pretty much. But yeah, there's a definite a running theme of that, of somebody dying and leaving a plant there. And this is just another example of it. Good. So, and one thing I want to go over, this question is kind of a good example. It's really just asking for the plants. It's not, I didn't ask, what does that mean? What's that a callback to? What could that symbolize? You could put something like that if you wanted to, but I was just asking for the plants. Which leads me to, on these study guide questions, there's different types of questions on here, as you've noticed. Some of them might be a little simpler, like you can just find it right in the text, so that's what it is, it's those three things. Others ask you to say and why or and how. Support, is there support in the text for this? So there's a couple of, I guess, tips I wanted to give you on some of these questions, especially if you've seen, like, you had some points taken off from something and you're not sure why. I always try to put a remark there. This is what I was looking for. One of them is overthinking the question. On that last quiz, I saw this as well. Sometimes the answer is just a little simpler than you think. A good example of this would be, I think on the last study guide, the question about the quote, the scroll was not too expansive to write people's doom upon it. Essentially, I was just asking, what's the scroll? It's using imagery. He's not really talking about a scroll. If he just mentioned the sky, or the meteor is God writing in the sky, or something about the sky, that's what I was looking for. So some of you did not answer that, but you had a pretty good, well thought out answer on the town itself and what they're hiding, what sin and guilt they're hiding, and something to do with the Ten Commandments and things like that. Not what I was looking for, and to me it was a lot simpler than that, And sometimes some of those questions are worth 2 points. You'll see it on there, and you might get 1 out of 2 because you didn't quite answer what I was looking for, but I can see where you got that, and it's well thought out or well supported. So sometimes I did that. Another one would be the opposite, underthinking it, or just not putting enough there. Obviously, some of you when you didn't read the chapter and you were just blindly guessing. I mean, and I know when I read the answer. But other times, like another example is, I think from the same study guide, possibly. What was the major decision that Hester decided at the end of chapter, I think it's 13, and it says in the book, she resolved to meet her former husband. You could have put that, and I think I gave you 1 out of 2 points if you put that, but it's a major decision, so it can't just be meeting him. You had to put something about she's going to tell him that she's done keeping a secret. She's going to rescue Dimsdale from his clutches. Something like that, getting a little more into it. So this would be underthinking it because you're just going with the first thing that it says in the book and either not reading further or not extrapolating further from that answer. Okay. So the other one, there's a third one up here. Just a quote. And just from the public shaming article and from the stuff we did during the summer reading with MLA, we talked about using quotes. You can, you know that just dropping a quote right there and not putting any context around it, you don't want to get in the habit of that. You want to get in the habit of trying to work the quote into something you're actually saying or proving. And there were times on some answers where the quote is your answer, and that answered the question perfectly. The answer is directly in the quote, and I gave it to you because it's like, yeah,